This play is part of LA Theatre Works Relativity Series of science-themed plays. Lead funding for the Relativity Series is provided by the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, bridging science and the arts in the modern world.
This is LA Theatre Works. I'm Susan Loewenberg. In the 1950s, a cytologist named Nan Day takes a prestigious research position working for Dr. George Papanicolaou, the inventor of the Pap smear. The doctor worries Nan's new husband might distract her from their important work, but she has a secret that could upend everyone's plans for her. And now, Nan and the Lower Body by Jessica Dickey, directed by Erikson. Starring Shannon Cochran, Josh Dallas, Jessica Dickey, Ginnifer Goodwin, and Richard Schiff. Produced by LA Theatre Works.
I love the sound of pencils. Bish, 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 bish. Just now I was closing my eyes, listening to your pencils go, bish, 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 and it was like a magic spell was gathering its strength. Or even better, some secret part of ourselves is whispering to the secret selves around us, bish, bish, bish. Hey there. I'm here, you're here. Let's do something, huh? Bish, bish, bish. This is the sound of our secret selves conspiring. You got that, right? Bish, bish, bish. Bish, bish, bish. Let's do something. What should we do? I know. Let's talk about something most people never talk about. Let's see a world most people never see. Let's go inside the female body. I'm not drunk, I swear. Well, maybe a little drunk. No, I'm not. Let's go inside the female body. Bish, bish, bish. Let's prostrate ourselves before the mystery of the reproductive galaxy. And let's arm ourselves against anything that might harm that strange and precious space. Boy, are you sorry you signed up for this. You came here to learn about the Pap smear, the new technique for identifying cancers in the female reproductive system, far less invasive than the current biopsy procedure and far more effective. Just a simple sample of the vaginal fluid, and everything can be seen. According to the most recent analyses, released just last year, in 1951, cancer of the lower body and reproductive system is currently the #1 killer of women. Think about that. Women, mothers, sisters are dying every day, but with the vaginal smear, early detection is possible. Early detection is possible. This is a fact. Today, Wait a minute. Where is my new assistant? What's her name again? Nan Day. Where is Nan? Is she late? She's fired. That's a joke. Nan is late. Well, we need to forgive her. She departed very early this morning to begin her training with me. I know you're thinking, poor her. Well, you're right. But don't worry. If her application is any indication, it is me you should be worried about, because I can tell you she is quite formidable. She was the only woman to apply. Imagine that. A position for women's health and only men applied? The female sex is not exactly prized in the medical sciences, are they? Shame on us. Which reminds me. Yes, let's just get this out of the way. Vagina. 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 Vaginal fluid. Vagina. Okay, good? Okay. I've done this many times, and I've learned it's good to just get that over with. Now.
Oh, God.
You must be Nan.
Yeah. Oh!
Are you all right? Are you all right?
Yes. Thank you.
Well, now I can say you fell for me. That's just a joke. We were just talking about you. Well, vaginas, actually, but also you. I am Dr. George Papanicolaou. You can call me Dr. Pap. I am immensely pleased to make your acquaintance.
Dr. Papanicolaou, forgive we had train trouble. And anyway, not the first impression I prefer to make.
Well, good thing it wasn't then. Your first impression was your unusually moving cover letter and your high marks and qualifications. Do you remember the part of your application where you described the flowers? What was the example you used?
Phlox.
Yes, phlox. Tell them.
People often confuse phlox with dame's rocket. They look almost identical. Both are a showy, erect, branching plant, about 4 feet high, same colors. But if you look carefully, dame's rocket has 4 petals in its flower, whereas phlox has 5. Which you can remember by the fact that phlox has 5 letters. Phlox.
Isn't that wonderful? I love that part of your application. I couldn't think of a better perspective with which to approach this work. Now, if you don't mind.
Yes, of course.
You didn't think I'd forgotten about you? No such luck. I was just giving you time to recover from the word vagina. Now, how to spot squamous cell carcinoma with the vaginal smear technique. Now, once material has been accumulated from both the outside and the inside of the cervix, we smear the material, hence the name, onto a slide, and voila, you are ready for the stains. Come. First, we must prepare the cells for the staining sequence. We rinse the slide in different graduated alcohols, like so. 95% alcohol, 70% alcohol. And then we dip it in water to rehydrate the cells before the hemotoxylin. That's the purple reddish fluid there.
Oh, yes.
Good, yes. And now put it in the hemotoxylin. Good. And now we set the timer for 2 minutes. And we wait. So, what about your husband?
What about him?
Well, let's start with his name.
Theodore. But he goes by Ted.
Huh. And he just took a new job as well, correct?
At a charity organization, but that's just until he gets a parish.
A parish? Huh. So he is
a minister, yes.
And how is that for you?
How is what for me?
Theodore, who goes by Ted, being a minister.
Oh, it's fine. It's a calling, so.
Being a spouse of a minister is not so easy, no?
I'm not sure it's much harder than being the spouse of a scientist.
Touché. So you understand my line of inquiry.
I'm not sure I do, actually.
Does he support your work, Ted, nay, Theodore?
Meaning?
Does he expect you to pop out a baby as soon as he feels settled in his post, despite your promising new position as the assistant of Dr. George Papanicolaou, the creator of a technique that will revolutionize women's health around the world?
No.
No what?
No. I don't believe Ted nay Theodore thinks me the sort of person to pop out anything, let alone a baby. And I am quite certain he respects my considerable mind and what I choose to do with it, including my current post.
Good.
What is good, Dr. Papanicolaou?
Your anger. I see you have goals for your life.
Oh, we're talking about my goals? I thought we were talking about my husband. If we're talking about my goals, then yes. I want a family, and I want to be an exceptional cytologist. I would like very much to do good work that affects lives for the better. I'm not particularly talented. I seem to only be good at patience and detail and being myself. But that'll have to do.
Now we use an acid alcohol to remove any excess hematoxylin from the cytoplasm. Then a submersion in tap water substitute. Go ahead. Then we stain the OG6, named for its orange color. You see? Go ahead. And then we set the timer for 2 minutes. Well, your family must be very excited for you.
To be married?
Of course not. Everyone gets married. That's not an accomplishment. I mean, to be working on the pap smear.
No one's really heard of the pap smear.
Not yet, but they will. The whole world will have heard of the pap smear by the time I'm through. And your job will be easier.
My job?
Someone has to carry on this work when I'm a hunk of dead meat. It should be a woman. Cervical cancer is a crisis in the medical community. Women are dying, and we don't know what to do about it. And yet they scored me. Oh, Dr. Pap and his fixation with female anatomy, malakismeni. But the fact is, the world is very, very funny about women. Just like the world is very funny about ethnicity. You might be thinking, what does he know? He's Caucasian. But before I am Caucasian, I am Greek. And believe me, that's a distinction for some people. Here at Cornell, the pathology department wouldn't hire me. Did you know that? But you're thinking, he created the pap smear. No matter, I was a dirty Greek. So here we are, in the anatomy department. But you know what? I say these people are smart.
Smart?
The status quo know a threat when they see one. They took one look at my work and they knew. It will be the same with women like you, Nan. They will sense that something is on the verge of breaking and that they are on the losing side, so they will fight you just as they fight me. And they are quite right to fear you, just as the pathology department was smart to block me. For I'm going to annihilate them all. This next step is quite quick. We just rehydrate the cells, like so. And now we wait. Just 1 minute. So, you want children?
I do.
Mache and I agreed very early on that there would be no children. I wanted to make a serious contribution to science, you see? Have you considered that?
Dr. Papanicolaou.
Dr. Pap.
Dr. Pap.
Everyone calls me Dr. Pap. I like it. It's like, hey, Dr. Pap. It's good.
Dr. Pap. Perhaps we could save the personal questions for another occasion.
Ah.
If you wouldn't mind.
You're quite strict.
I'm quite...
Strict. You're quite strict. Was your father strict?
Yes.
It's good to have a strict father. To develop an early sense of earning your worth. This idea that we are enough as we are, just for being. This will be the demise of society. Only important work makes a life worth living.
Not everyone feels that way.
Of course not. Not everyone is capable of important work. But for those who are, nothing less is worthwhile. And a strict father helps. I'll tell you a secret. When I am talking to someone who doesn't know much about my work, I am very fond of using the word vagina. As much as possible.
People know the word vagina.
Yes, of course they know it, but they are not used to it. So they squirm. I have a, how do you say, a sixth sense for such a person. It's really very wonderful. You should try it. Now, we are ready to look at it under the microscope. Go ahead and put the stains on the counter. I'll set us up over here.
All right.
Opa! All right?
Yes. Thank you.
Now, attach the slide on the stage there. Yeah, that's right. And then use the knobs there to assess the slide in a zigzag formation. You read the booklet I sent you on various signs of abnormal squamous cells?
Yes.
Tell me the 3 types of normal squamous cells.
The squamous superficial cells mature with plenty of estrogen, making the nucleus a tiny little dot.
Yes.
The intermediate cells with a slightly larger nucleus.
Yes.
And the parabasal cell, where the nucleus cytoplasmic ratio is most narrow. Very common in menopausal women. These are the cells that are most likely to be confused with cancer.
Correct. And how will you differentiate between a normal parabasal cell and a cancerous one?
The normal parabasal cell has a smooth nucleus edge, whereas a cancerous one will have uneven edges, like a raisin.
Correct. Do you like raisins?
No. Well, I like them on their own, not in things.
In things?
Yes, like muffins.
You don't like them in muffins?
No.
Cake?
No.
Pudding? Surely you like raisins in your pudding.
No.
Bread?
No.
Ah, I love raisins in bread. I love everything in bread. The raisins, the nuts, the fruit, the chocolate. Put all of it in. Okay, I have a meeting with the dean. Ooh. Organize these slides. We'll review them when I return.
Okay.
What about cereal?
What?
Cereal. Raisins in cereal.
I do like raisins in my cereal.
Ah, the raisins get the vote. Wonderful.
Oh, God.
This is not good.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize to me. You're the one covered in slides of vaginal fluid. Let me help you.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
Once I farted in front of the dean. I'm Mache, Dr. Pap's wife.
I'm Nan.
Yes, Nan.
He's not here. He had a meeting with the dean.
I know. I wanted to meet you.
That's very kind. Well, I guess I should get back to...
I brought a tray of slides. Dr. Pap forgot them.
Oh?
Yes, he walked right out the door without them.
They were at home? The slides, they were at home?
Yes.
If you want to wait, he said he wouldn't be long.
No, I want you to give them to him.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, all right. I will.
Oh, when I was your age, I was in despair about my life. I didn't feel like other girls. I didn't look like them. I didn't behave like them. For all outward evidence, I was on the path to being a spinster or the wife of an ugly butcher. No offense if your father is a butcher.
My father is not a butcher.
Really? Your father could have been a butcher.
Why do you say that?
Well, you seem like someone who has seen the red flesh of a large mammal hanging from a hook. Don't worry. I, too, am such a woman.
Oh, was your father a butcher?
No, my father was in the military. So, yes. What does your father do?
He worked in a shoe factory.
He's retired now.
He's dead. He died when I was 18.
How did he die?
The factory caught fire. Everyone was trapped inside. I was hired by the local hospital to examine the bodies, and I found him. I put a tag on his foot that said his name.
Was that difficult?
Oh, on the contrary, seeing my father's body helped me. It made me who I am.
You see? The red flesh of a large mammal hanging from a hook. What kind of name is it? Nan.
A nickname.
A nickname for what?
Grace.
Grace.
Yes.
Your name is Grace.
Yes.
Grace to Nan? It is not an improvement.
Oh, I don't know. Names have a funny way of revealing who we really are.
Is Grace not who you really are?
Grace seems to make so many promises. I like Nan. It's plainer. What kind of name is Mache?
It's Greek, from Andromache.
And what does it mean?
Battle.
There you have it.
For a while, they called me Mary. The people here, well, the wives of the people here. I tried it out for a while, then went back to Mache. You should come to dinner.
Oh,
Next Sunday, 6 o'clock.
I'm sorry. On Sunday, my husband, Ted, has services all morning and then meetings through the evening.
Next Saturday.
Saturday, we said we would dine with the Kavanaughs.
The Kavanaghs.
Yes. Do you know them?
The Kavanaghs have never invited us to dinner.
Oh?
Mrs. Kavanaugh's knees rub together when she walks.
Beg your pardon?
Mrs. Kavanaugh's knees rub together when she walks. If a person has knees that rub together, their iliotibial band has to compensate. Their foundation is not sound. The following Wednesday.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. The following Wednesday would be fine.
It's settled. You'll tell George I stopped by.
Yes.
And you'll be sure to give him the slides.
I will.
Good night.
Oh, my legs. Stop it! No! Why can't you work, stupid legs?
Here we are.
Oh, hello.
Are you unwell?
No, I'm fine. Although I am afraid I dropped these slides earlier. Your wife arrived just in time to help me, otherwise I'd probably still be collecting them from the floor.
Mache? Mache was here?
Yes. She brought those slides? She said you had forgotten them at home.
Did she now?
Shall I just put them over here with the others?
Hey, yes, just, no, leave them there.
Is something wrong?
No, it's not. She knows very well I didn't forget the slides. Hey.
Is everything all right?
Perhaps we'll end a little early today. You must be exhausted from your trip and, of course, your wedding. You're probably still catching up. But come in early tomorrow, if you can.
Very well. It looks like Ted and I will be joining you for dinner in a few weeks.
Wonderful.
Good night.
Nan, it was a good first day. Oh, my mushka. You know very well these slides don't belong in the lab. They belong in the trash.
Ted, I already said yes.
But surely you can tell them you hadn't checked with them. I have this church event, blah, blah, blah. They'll understand.
Why don't you go back to your church event and explain to them that you hadn't checked with me, that I have this dinner with my boss, blah, blah, blah.
Man.
What? You need to support me.
We ended our honeymoon early. That's support,
We'll
isn't it?
have other vacations.
It wasn't a vacation. It was a honeymoon.
No, I realize.
I was mooning with my honey.
Ted, I'm serious. God knows how many dinners I'm going to sit through for you over the next 50 years, listening to old men with giant cacti of white nose hair extol Apostles' Creed. You can make this one dinner happen for me.
You do realize I'm eventually going to be one of those old men with giant cacti of white nose hair.
All the more reason.
Man. Our kids running around our hips. Little Bippy and Boppy.
Ted.
What? Little Ink and Dink?
Oof, we are not naming them that.
Well, what then?
I like Sarah.
Sarah.
Yes, and maybe Mark.
Sarah and Mark. They'll be preacher's kids, which is kind of a thing, you know.
Oh, yes, I know. They'll probably be anxious.
Very anxious.
But they'll do good things in the world. And maybe one day they'll have children who will do good things in the world. Who knows?
Sarah and Mark and Ted and Nan.
Maybe. So,
This is where the magic happens.
Well, not much magic yet. I still have a lot to learn. What are these doing here?
What's that?
Nothing, just some slides that were delivered yesterday for Dr. Pap got put in the trash. I'll just put them here.
So, what's he like?
Who?
Dr. Papanicolaou. You were so tired last night, I didn't really get to hear anything.
Oh, he's interesting.
Uh-oh.
No uh-oh. There's no uh-oh.
You only say interesting when you really don't want to say the word you mean.
That's not... Oh, well, that is true. I don't know. He's very, pushy, I guess.
Pushy?
Yes.
Pushy like how?
I don't know.
Well, like, what did he push?
No, nothing, really. It's just his style or something. Not entirely without charm, mind you, just pushy.
I guess that makes sense. Here's this man forcing the world to take women's health seriously. Guess he's got to be pushy. What are these things for?
The stirrups? Oh, that's where the woman puts her feet during the exam.
What?
The woman puts her feet in here and slides down.
Slides down? Hand-free.
And then the doctor uses instruments like this.
What is that?
It's a speculum to open the woman so the doctor can see the cervix.
Holy God.
All right.
It looks like a metal crab. I'm going to eat you.
Ted!
Well, you have to admit it's pretty shocking stuff if you're not used to it.
It's science.
It is. And my beautiful wife is a part of it.
Don't suck up.
I'm not sucking up.
Yes, you are. I haven't forgiven you.
For what?
For the dinner.
Ah, the dinner.
Yes, the dinner.
I love it when you're cross. You get that wrinkle on your forehead.
You'd better not give me too many reasons to wrinkle my forehead. You're the one who has to look at it every day for the rest of our lives.
I think I'll manage. Oh, hey. I scheduled the interview for the parish in Loewenberg.
You did? Oh, Ted!
I know. I'm so nervous.
Oh, they're going to love you.
God, I hope so. And get this. They asked me if my wife would be joining me for the interview, and I said, no, sir. My wife is a cytologist.
What did he say?
Gesundheit. And then I made him listen to me crow about how you found this opportunity posted at the hospital in Wenham, how you knew the pap smear was a big deal because, as opposed to your male counterparts, you actually read medical publications, how you nailed the application and got the job, how you're going to be able to get hired at any hospital in the country once you're through.
That's the idea.
You're right.
About what?
The dinner. You're right. I'll tell the church I have to reschedule.
Really?
This dinner is important for you, and I will be there.
Thank you, Ted.
Oh, you can thank me.
Oh, can I?
Oh, yes.
Okay, now get out. I have work to do.
Yes, Mrs. Day. Mrs. Day. Mrs. Day. Mrs. Day.
Good morning.
Oh, hand free.
I'm so...
sorry.
No, don't worry, don't worry.
We were just...
I was just about to...
No, he was just on his...
Okay, stop. I am the lead scientist in women's reproductive health, yes? Calm down.
Right, yes. Thank you.
No thanking. No need for thanking. Continue if you wish.
No, we're done.
Yes, I was just leaving.
Are you going to introduce me?
Oh, my goodness. My manners, yes. Ted, this is Dr. Papanicolaou.
Dr. Pap.
Dr. Pap. Dr. Pap, this is my husband, Ted.
Ted, nay, Theodore.
That's me. It's wonderful to meet you, sir.
And you.
I so admire what you've accomplished. Nan is very excited. Thank you for everything.
Yes, of course. And you must be very proud of her, yes?
Oh, yes, sir. Very proud indeed. Not to be pushy, but I think she's going to do a great job.
I hope so. What we're doing is very important, you know.
Absolutely.
The health of the vagina is not enough of a priority all over the world.
Indeed.
The vaginas of the world have to be safeguarded by science and exceptional medical care, you see. If we are to evolve as a civilization, it will be because we prioritize the vagina.
Yep.
Our work on care for the vagina here at Cornell will ensure that the diseases of the vagina the world over will be eradicated for the benefit of the vagina everywhere, including the vagina of your own household.
Yay!
Why don't you go to work?
Yeah, I should probably go. It was wonderful to meet you, sir.
I hear we're having dinner together, yes?
Very much looking forward to it.
Me too. Bye-bye now.
Okay. Bye.
That wasn't necessary.
What?
Vagina, vagina, vagina.
Oh, come now.
You were talking down to him.
I was just teasing.
Ted is one of us.
Well, no. Now there you're wrong.
How do you say that?
I just know.
That's not fair.
That's the way it is in our field. You better get used to it, and you must admit it was a little fun to see him squirm.
Is your wife one of us?
Mache? Of course. I couldn't have done what I've done without Mache.
Then why are her slides in the trash? The slides she brought to the lab, they were in the trash this morning?
That was a misunderstanding.
Why would she bring slides that you then throw away?
Nan, that is a very complicated matter between Mache and myself. I'm sorry that she involved you, and now that is all I wish to say on the matter. Let us begin our work. Go ahead and examine these slides. Mark what you think is abnormal. You have the pens there. And we'll go over them together.
Is it strange for you?
Is what strange?
I don't know. Looking at someone's vagina.
You mean, does it feel sexual? Many men have asked me that, you know. Faculty parties with bourbon and cigars. But you are the first woman. The answer is no. It is not sexual. All that goes away. And the vagina becomes medical. Are you as disappointed as the men's?
There are so many.
Cells. About 100,000 cells per smear. Finding the cancerous ones is literally like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Looking at them through a microscope, it's like looking at a night sky.
You know, that's exactly what I said. Nan, I think we're going to be a wonderful team.
This is LA Theatre Works' production of Nan in the Lower Body by Jessica Dickey. Our story continues next time. I'm Susan Loewenberg, producing director of LA Theatre Works.
This play is part of LA Theatre Works' Relativity Series of science-themed plays. Lead funding for the Relativity Series is provided by the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, bridging science and the arts in the modern world.